Okay, and action, we're on.
All right, hi, we're here tonight at the first the first mixer. Oh, no, stop.
That's okay. And take two.
Hi, we're here tonight at the first MPI St. Louis networking event for the year, and we're going to talk with Eric Sutterer and get to know him a little bit. He is the new president of MPI St. Louis, and we want to start off by thanking him for taking the time to meet with us today. And just start off, what are you looking forward to this year? What's going to be different?
You know, the board and I have been working really hard this year on putting together a great program of events that includes EduCon, our monthly programs, trivia nights, some of the other fundraisers, events like this evening. So I think just the events overall, and just looking forward to the challenge.
Okay. What makes this chapter unique? I've heard a lot about the MPI St. Louis chapter being one of the best chapters in the United States. I mean, do you find that to be true?
It's very true. I mean, what's unique about our chapter is we've performed at such a high level year over year. When they used to have Chapter of the Year awards, we used to, win those awards. We won them a couple of times. Last year, we were the #1 chapter as far as satisfaction, and that's worldwide, which is pretty amazing. So that's pretty unique. That's a hard one to beat.
Yeah, wow, you're coming in at a good time. I'm sure we'll keep that up under your leadership. How did you get involved with the chapter?
My first event was, I went as a guest, like many members do, and I went to an event at the old Planet Hollywood downtown. I went with Jennifer Howard. Her and I were colleagues at the time, and she said, "You have to go to this event." It was a fundraising event. It was called MPI Tie One On, and it was an event where they sold neckties signed by celebrities, and it was a great event. And after that, I went as a guest for a couple of years, and finally became a member.
Okay, great. I'm sure you have a pretty full plate with your position and all that is involved with that. How do you see yourself juggling all these responsibilities that you're going to have this year?
Last year was a great year of prep. My position last year was president-elect, and it's really kind of a training year for this year. And so a lot of things I could anticipate coming up, but still, when you're in the thick of it, it gets pretty busy. So I consider this my night job, my weekend job, and I really try to balance it with my paying job and my family.
Okay. Well, most people in this industry are used to being busy and multitasking, so I'm sure you'll do a great job at that. Is that kind of what drew you to this business? Do you like that pace? Do you like that challenge of having multiple things to do? How did you get into the hospitality industry?
I came in on the restaurant side. So, I grew up, and I think hospitality covers so many areas. So, from working at golf courses to restaurants to then into hotels. And when I got to hotels, I really, that's what I guess started to enjoy more than anything. So that's how I got involved.
Okay. What was your first job?
My first job, it was kind of a family job. I worked for my uncle's paper route.
Okay.
My first probably job where I paid taxes was working at a golf course.
Okay. I can see you at a golf course. All right. What would you say from those days in the golf course till now? What's been your career high?
Career high. I think coming out of college, not knowing, where you're going to land, where you're going to be, especially in our industry, where you're going to start off. And I can tell you it was quite a high when I was hired by Hyatt back then. It was for their training program, and that was a real high going in to a sales training program. It was a very reputable program at the time, and probably still is. But I remember those days. It was very exciting to start my first job.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any crazy stories from back in those days, or?
There's probably more than we can tell right now in detail, but I would say, I worked the entertainment market
Oh yeah.
for a couple of years. And there's some interesting stories that go along with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That always makes for some interesting conversation. And then when you worked the entertainment market, I'm sure you had a few brushes with fame. Anybody that sticks out?
I guess just a variety of singers, sports figures, actors. A variety of people, I'll say.
And they're just like you and I, right?
Honestly, for the most part, when you meet them one-on-one, they are. They seem to be anyway.
Yeah. Well, good. Let me see. Is there people in this industry, I would say, always seem to be kind of fun-loving, like meeting people. I'm sure you fit that role too, but what do you do for fun when you're not working?
Away from work, my wife and I, we like to travel, so we've been pretty fortunate and have taken advantage of a lot of the perks that go along with working for a hotel company. So we like to travel. I like to golf. I'm a St. Louis boy, so I like going to Cardinal games. For the most part, that's it.
What's your dream vacation or the best vacation you've been on?
There's so many places I'd love to see. China's probably would be my tops on the list right now. It's such a growing country, and there's a lot of just kind of intrigue, I guess, to China. We've been fortunate. We've been to Europe a couple of times. We honeymooned in Bora Bora. That's probably the most exotic and special place we've ever been. And I'm one. I don't like to travel to the same spot twice. There's too many places to see.
Definitely. All right. When you're on vacation, would you ever read a book? What's your favorite book? What book has had a big impact on you?
Well, if it's on vacation, I usually don't read books. That part drives my wife nuts. She's more of the, hey, let's relax. And I'm probably more of the go, go, go.
Sightseer.
But I'd say for a book, no, there's not one that really stands out. I'm trying to think here.
How about movie?
Movies, I definitely am a movie guy. And I hate to almost admit this, we don't have cable at our house, so it's kind of unique. We have Netflix, so we watch a lot of movies. I actually watched one last night, and it was called Motorcycle Diaries. I'm kind of a kind of a documentary type lover, so it was very good.
Yeah, well, good. All right. If you could have dinner with any famous person in the world, who would it be?
Gosh, I think going back to maybe a founding father or one of the presidents that were part of the founding of our country. I think that would be really interesting to be part of that. Maybe in the Declaration of Independence, maybe being at a table full of those folks, and just I think that would be really, really cool to go back and listen to those conversations.
Oh yeah, definitely. What would be something that people would be surprised to hear about you? I think the cable thing's kind of surprising.
Yeah, the cables kind of throws people, but I wouldn't say surprised, but maybe people don't know. My wife and I are actually expecting our first child, so that's pretty special. And
it was announced here.
There you go.
MPI mixer.
There you go. So,
okay, great.
Yeah.
Very exciing.
Very
you have an exciting year ahead.
Very exciting.
When you look back next year at this time, what do you hope you've accomplished? Is there any one thing, two things?
My message to our board this year was, let's really challenge ourselves. Let's create better programming for our members, deliver value. So hopefully we can look back and say, we've delivered better content, we've had better programs, and we have to always be, I guess, fiscally conscious of that, the status of our finances as well. So if we can look back and say, hey, we've done those things and still, stay within our budgets, I think that'll be a successful year.
Okay.